They help build a good credit score, which allows you then to borrow as cheaply as you possibly can. Yeah. That might be to borrow for large life purchases or, mortgage for your house.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said earlier, certain credit cards can offer additional benefits when you spend with them. So if you can spend what you were going to spend anyway, but through a credit card that then also gives you bonus points that roll up that you could transfer into, points that can buy flights or hotels or holidays or experiences, then, that's a great thing. It's a really good thing. The danger with credit cards is the freeness in which you sort of given this money, particularly when you're younger.
Yeah.
And you see a credit limit of £1,500. You think, oh, I've got £1,500. You haven't, that's just a limit that they're giving you on credit, which they want back from you.
When I was a kid, I thought my overdraft was my money.
Yeah. When I went to university, it was exactly the same. I think my overdraft was, because they gave you a generous one as a student in the student account.
Okay.
I was gone within the first 2 weeks, I think. Yeah.
That's £100 overdraft. My friend got his first £100 overdraft. He went and bought some Adidas trainers. I'm like, mate, you just opened the account. Just spend the money you ain't got already. And I remember the overdraft fees was horrible back then. I'm sure it was like £7.50.
Well, this was before overdraft. They introduced more legislation on overdraft fees, because they used to be steep, really steep.
By then, I already stopped using overdraft. I learnt my lesson. I was like, I'm paying out too much money for the item that I bought that wasn't even that much in the first place.
Yeah, you do end up spending way over the headline price. And it's the same with credit cards. And with credit cards, those high fees and high interest rates are still there. It's less so with overdrafts now, but typical APR might be 30%.
Yeah.
If you've not cleared off your debt on the credit card, then all of a sudden you could be in one of those debt cycles where you're just paying off the debt and you're not getting the actual balance down. Mm-hmm. So it's critical they're managed well, because credit cards managed well can be a really good asset. When they're managed poorly, it can give you a bad credit score, and it can really, really detrimentally affect your ability to borrow money. So credit cards are as good as the individual that uses them.
And minimum payments are designed to keep you literally paying for the rest of your life, because minimum payment will never get you out of that debt.
No, minimum payment is what, 1% of the balance?
I'm not even sure.
I think it's 1%, and it doesn't cover off the interest you're paying.
Exactly.
So you end up paying the interest plus the 1%, and every month you're paying more and more and more, and your balance is not going down.
Do you have an example of when consumer debt is a good idea, or what it could be used for as a?
Yes, I think if you have an existing healthy financial position, and you want to buy a sofa for the house, for example, and the company is offering a 0% interest on a 2-year purchase.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Why not? Spread the cost out, make it more affordable for you. You don't have to take the initial hit.
Yeah.
Likewise, you could get a credit card which has a 0% interest on purchases. You could, and if that is for a year or 2 years, it's effectively the same thing.
Yeah.
Difference being is you now have this credit card, which can turn into something ugly if you don't manage it properly. So, credit cards should come with many more warnings around how they should be managed, because it's very easy to get into a doom cycle with them.
Well, that doesn't help their business model, right? So
it's the thing. There is a conflict there, and it's the reason they keep offering you higher and higher credit limits.
Yeah.
Because interest on higher amounts is more money for them and a higher bottom line. So, be vigilant. Use them as tools. Don't use them as last resorts. Don't take credit cards out if you're already struggling with debt.
Yeah.
Fix the root problem.
Credit purchases towards your business can help as well. So my side hustle, I'm an Uber driver.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Uber drivers, once they qualify to become an Uber driver, it probably takes around maybe 700 quid to get a taxi license and then become an Uber driver. But then they don't have their own vehicle, because you've got to have a vehicle that's less than 5 years old,
Sure.
which most people don't have the money to just go and buy
Sure. Yeah.
almost brand new car.
Yeah.
But I do think that using credit then to then get that car is, I wouldn't say it's a great idea, but it is a great idea actually, because the amount of money you can bring back in from that, and I'm pretty sure those payments would be tax deductible as well
Through your business.
through your business. Yeah. And
Well, you're not just looking at a purchase there; it's a return on an investment, isn't it?
yeah,
You know, so I have my car on finance.
Yeah.
Which, as a financial thing, is not. If you looked at it, you'd say, well, just if you can buy it outright,
just buy a used
which is normally a better thing to do.
Yeah.
But if you want a nicer car, and for me, I would prefer to spread those costs out. You could look at going through a bank and taking a loan out if their rates were better than what the finance company were offering through a lease or a PCP.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, if you can buy your car outright, then that's the best thing you can do. But yeah, if you're doing it from a business perspective and you can run it through your business, then obviously some of those costs are tax deductible. You still got benefits in kind, which are far more generous if it's an electric car.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can run an electric car through a limited company, and it's for the purposes for the business, then that could be something that's really efficient.
Yeah. My sister, she did want to buy a used car. It was like it was last year. She wanted to buy like a 2021, 22 plate Mini.
Yeah.
And she was showing me all these prices. She was like, well, I've got $7,000 that I'll put forward to it, but these cars are costing near enough 20 grand.
Yeah.
And it was like, I looked at the interest rates on them and it was like another 7 to 8 grand on top. I'm like, the amount of money you're going to pay back after the 5 years, and the payments are not really high enough to pay it all back.
Yeah.
They want you to pay like a lump sum
Okay.
at the end of your agreement, which is like £9,000 or something like that. And I just told her, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, in this instance, I actually talked her out of it, and I helped her look for. I told her that if you want something that brand new and you want it for a good price,
Yep.
then you could look at cars that are, I wouldn't say in not so great shape. So like a Cat S or a Cat N car, right?
Yep.
So cars that have been written off due to minor damage.
Yeah.
So I got her looking at those, and I said, look, you can have a look at those. You could pay a subscription to a website and you can check the actual damage reports for each of these vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make an educated decision, go look at the cars, speak to the people, see how honest they are